Hey AJ.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's happening, dude?
What's going on?
There are children running up and down my hallway before the live stream.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah,
I find children really creepy. Is that just me?
I find creepy children creepy. I think if they're just like walking down the street and chewing bubblegum and like, wearing a backwards cap or something, I'm like, that's a normal kid. But if there's like twins or triplets standing and talking all spooky like and being like red rum, you should
open the door and be like, get off my lawn.
It is one of the weirdest things, man, about having to live in an apartment building, because you just get used to like insanity all the time. And I don't know, you just always assume that everything's fine. Like so I've heard things that sound like somebody's getting murdered in the hallway and I go, it's probably fine. If it was an issue, somebody else is probably concerned about it. I don't think that would happen in a house.
You'd be more concerned, but the noises are coming from your apartment.
That's true, because I'm the only one.
Nothing
that
to see
knows
here.
What's going on? Why aren't other people concerned? All right, let's start the show. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you don't like that schedule, well, I don't blame you, because I don't either. You can check it out on Spotify or podcast services of your choice. Usually uploaded sometime after the show. And God, if you're just sitting here waiting for us to talk about the $1 billion investment in Epic, don't forget that sci-fi game Cat Henry puts all the timestamps in later, so you don't have to waste your time watching it live. You can watch it later. So we'll see you in the future. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and this gentleman over here, my hetero life mate. It's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
Who tunes into this show just to listen to us talk about Sony acquiring Epic Games, you nerds? Happy! What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday! And man, we are hopefully going to make your Monday suck. Just a little bit less. Dude, so many things to talk about today. I told you guys recently that Dave sent me an R2D2 Tomigatchi, and I've been taking good care of it. In fact, I just came to the desk and it was beeping, and I looked at it, and it is transformed. Dave, where's Dave? It is transformed into an X-Wing. And I'm so proud. This is the proudest moment of my life.
All we could see was you smashing a blurry blue thing up against the camera, and we have no idea what you were showing us at all.
You see it?
Look, it's blurry and it's blue. Look.
Look. It's an X-Wing. I'm so happy.
I'm so shocked, and Dave did have to teach me a little bit about Tamagotchis recently, because I had a Gigapet when I was a kid, which were actually better than Tamagotchis at the time, and to see that a good majority of the Tamagotchis that are sold right now don't look any better than those like simple little crappy non-backlit LCD screens that we were all using. I've got 30 years ago. Like it's crazy that, and yes, of course there's like ones that are way better, but most of them are like the same shit, and it's crazy. And they're charging the same price.
Dude, how was your weekend?
I don't know. I didn't know you were gonna ask a personal question.
You don't got to go into detail.
It was fine. I watched Europa Report.
Oh yeah.
Just I guess sci-fi-ish horror movie. I don't know. It was good. It's good. Certainly, I just needed something, and it was found footage style. I think you've seen this before, right? And
a long time ago.
Okay. It was good. It was good. Pacer recommended it to me, and I just needed something. And then I tried to watch Open Grave, which was just too intense for me. Like, it was just from the get-go. I've told you what I think about horror movies before. Like, if you start off and the lights are flashing and everybody's screaming, then like you've got nowhere to go, right? You need to build up to that at the fucking climax of the movie. If it starts off like that and everybody's just screaming for the first 20 minutes of the movie, like I can't handle it, man. Like I need more subtlety in my life. But besides that, I had a good weekend. How was yours?
I was only asking you so that you'd ask me, and
I know.
you went into this long thing.
Dude, we've been doing this for years. I know why you ask me questions.
Do me, now me. Dude, there was a game that came out last week called Lucky's Tale, and it's like 5 years old. And man, let me share some final thoughts on Lucky's Tale real quick.
Please do.
It is a 3D platformer, action adventure platformer, like a Crash Bandicoot-ish kind of thing. And let me just say, man, this game, it's got a campaign that's like okay. Like I actually think this is the general consensus, is that this game is basically a subpar game. Like I actually don't think it's very good. Some people might like the regular contents of it, but the time trials, man, the time trials of this game are not only the saving grace of it, but they're amazing. You know why?
Because you're insane and you only like, really hard stuff. Let me prove how good I am at
Not
video
just
games.
Not just me.
Yeah,
the
no,
game cats as
you
well.
and 3 other cats are very proud of yourselves. I saw y'all sucking each other's cocks in the fucking Discord. Right? Look at me, I got the first platinum. No, look at me, I got the second platinum.
Dude,
Look, I like things because they're hard. Go suck a cock.
Those time trials are so hard. They're so brutal. They have no business. They don't fit at all being in the game, yet they are the best part about the game, and it's amazing. And yeah, shout out to All You Are Is History, the Game Cat, who got the very first platinum, and then Mike Check, who got it 30 minutes after. And Mike, let me just tell you, man, he's such a graceful stud that he handled it with so much class. He just congratulated All You Are Is History. I've been there where I'm like gunning for the platinum, and when somebody gets it right before you, that shit hurts. By 30 minutes too, like he was probably all like, "Come on!" Like I've been there, man. Yeah. And he handled that gracefully. So shout out to the both of you. And yeah, man, if you have any interest at all, like I like I like the price of admission alone of Lucky's Tale just for the time trials. If not, get it on sale, and then you will learn what pain is.
It is painful. It's super painful. I decided I was going to get the platinum, and I spent a lot of time trying to get the first gold on the first time trial, and 40 minutes later I was like, maybe I'm not going to get the platinum. It seems like a lot of work, and maybe one day if I've got a slow news day or something, I can jump back in and do it. But it's just so weird, man. It doesn't make any sense because the game is so easy. The campaign is so easy, and the time trials are the hardest time trials I've ever seen in any game ever. Like where usually they give you kind of like they kind of give you a nice soft pitch over the plate for the first couple, right? Just to kind of get you into it before they start ramping up the difficulty, but not on this. And so it feels like 2 different people designed the campaign and the time trials, and they were like, "Oh, you think the campaign was too early? Well, fucking good luck." And so it's just weird. Like I feel like Goldilocks when I talk about this game, right? Because I'm like, this one's too hard and this one's too soft. I want something that's just right, man. You know,
this porridge is too. This platformer is too cold.
It's weird. I'm not into bears at all, so I don't understand where the correlation comes from.
Honestly, it's probably my favorite time trials of all the platformers. Which I know it's nowhere near the greatness that Astrobot is. Right. I still like these time trials a little bit more for some reason, because I don't know. If you're a masochistic gamer and love platformers, you have to play Lucky's Tale at some point. You'll thank me. Yeah. You'll either thank me or hate me later.
Yeah. I can totally. I mean, obviously, I was making fun of everybody who was, going for the platinum and everything, and being all super into the difficult time trials. But really, I'm so glad it exists, because like I feel like Lucky's Tale sort of came out exactly when we needed it. We were like, we need like just a fun, solid game, and so it was easy to sort of breeze through the campaign in about 2 hours, like only dying a few times, only having a couple of points where I was like, this is going to take a couple tries. And then for people who really, really, really want to get their money's worth, there's certainly you will get your $20 worth out of this game if you are, as you said, a masochist.
Yeah, I love it, man. Highly recommend it just for the time trials. Everything else,
as long as you know what you're getting into, that's the important part here. As long as highly recommended for the right person. I
love it so much.
Nice. Well, AJ, That actually wasn't even on the run of the show. So we are way behind already. And I love it because we're going to talk about all sorts of things like Ultrawings 2, Dash World, Synth Riders, and of course, the big epic investment that Sony made today or sometime earlier that we heard about today. But first, we need to check in with Reggie at Strange Games and talk a little bit about RC Airplane Challenge because he sent us some... I'm going to call it exclusive footage, but he sent it to us like a week ago. and I was like, hey, Wes, like, let's talk about RC Airplane Challenge. And he goes, I haven't played it. I was like, shit. And then I said, Miles, let's talk about RC Airplane Challenge. He's like, I haven't played it. I was like, shit. Well, we're going to, this story's going to have to wait till Monday.
I've played it.
So here is the exclusive footage of the base attack mode, which is still under development. It should be out soon. I know that he was aiming for like sort of an early April release. Obviously, we're getting to the end of early April, so this could very well be a much later patch. But as you can see here, not only do we see some awesome interiors, the cockpit mode that everybody was desperately asking for, but also these not so well camouflaged Zeppelins, these blimps that you are attacking the opponent's blimp in base attack mode. Does this not look like the best part of the game, AJ?
That looks pretty sweet. Actually, I didn't even realize that. I just saw this for the first time like 10 minutes before the show, and I didn't even realize, yeah, you're looking at it from the new cockpit view. It looks awesome, man. This scene in particular, just like the visuals of this, why am I getting like these Indiana Jones vibes? Like, it has nothing to do with it. Is it just because it's in the desert and there's a blimp or something? I don't know. It looks awesome, man. I think this is more of the VR experience. Obviously, it wasn't what the game's like original intention was. I don't think completely. But man, no, doing it up, making it more tailored for hardcore VR gamers. I love it, man. I love to see it. It looks awesome. I can't wait to. Looking at this makes me want to go back and play it.
Reggie is amazing at this because I'll say when I wrote the review, when I did the review, and every time I've talked about this game, I've always talked about it in the exact same way. It's fine. RC Airplane Challenge is fine, except for the RC part. Like if it was just awesome plane RC Airplane Challenge, if it was just awesome plane challenge instead of RC Airplane Challenge, dude. Is like, I don't know. I felt so bad, man, being like, oh, the game that you designed isn't the game that I want. Please change it. But enough people said the same thing, and Reggie's amazing for being able to take that in stride and say, this is what people want, man, let's do it. And he found out that the cockpits were not nearly as difficult to make as he thought they would, keeping the player inside the cockpit as you do all these twists and turns. So this is, for me, we need, I'm sure something amazing is happening in chat right now.
Yes.
But fill me in a second.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about something in a minute where we're really going to need some awesome multiplayer games to really pass the time over the course of the rest of the year, Among Us and everything else. And I really, really hope that RC Airplane Challenge becomes one of those games that we just get so addicted to that we're like, oh, one more round. And having something like this rather than just free for all where it's like we just fly around and shoot each other down. Who cares about the score? This actually feels like something you can kind of sink your teeth into.
For sure.
Okay, what's happening in the chat? Let's
serial. Well, always the best. All the best stuff always happens in the chat during each one of these shows.
Oh, this show has nothing to do with either of us.
It is so much more. I actually love the new layout because every Wednesday and Friday I get to just chill out and hang out with the cats, and that's where the best stuff's going on. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But Serial Killer, the official game cat trademark. I like that, Serial Killer. He says, "Played it. I'm in it." And I totally forgot. Oh yeah, I did. I not only played this, I did voiceovers in this.
Oh right.
Double pop, triple pop.
That's very true. Very true. So I guess, yeah, you're the right person to save the news story for. So we could have definitely done this news story last week, but we had to wait for the right host to show up. We got Aceville VR in the chat with the $5 tip says, "Psst, can you quickly ask Aiden, the game kitten, to finish Astrobot? He's so close." Yo, Aiden.
I've been talking to Santa Claus, and he said, I'm going to give you this just on the down low. He said, all the good boys that get all the good presents this Christmas are the ones that finish Astrobot. So just, little leak of info there for you. We're not typically insiders, but, we get the inside scoop on things. We know some people.
Yeah, I can't top that. Aiden, Go finish Astrobot. Also, Astrobot's cool. Astrobot's one of the best games on PSVR, and you're almost there. Although I do understand why you might not want to finish it, because it's like one of those things. Like once you're done, you're done. Unless you want to go back and like actually, do every single, get every single trophy and find every single hidden bot. Sometimes you don't want a good game to end. So I understand that. But listen to Aceville. Aceville knows what's up.
That is true. Not to be devil's advocate here, but I did get the platinum in like 2 days in Astrobot, and I kind of regretted it because I like did everything way too fast. So
listen, I don't want to talk about Astrobot and the platinum, okay? because that game glitched out on me, and I put in so many hours. After I beat the game, I went in and did an 8-hour live stream, thinking I was gonna like just get the platinum in a couple hours, just like beat a couple challenges, no problem, and get this. 8 hours later, I had completed every goal, and the platinum didn't pop. I was like, what? So I'm me and Astra, we're not buddies right now, man. We're not getting along. But that aside, I think we need to move on to our next news story, and that is that Game of the Year 2021 wins and leaves. I was waiting for a little chuckle from the other side.
I like this game.
I know, but
I like this game a lot, actually.
Okay, well, wins and leaves, a good game from last year for sure, is getting a physical release over at Limited Run Games, and these are the kind of limited run games deals that I like. It's going on sale this Friday for $40, and there's only going to be 1,500 total available. 500 of those will be bundled with a soundtrack, and so if you want like super limited, like there's only 500 of these made, get the one with the soundtrack. If you just want to get it, then there's only 1,500 being made. This happens very infrequently because To the Top was probably the lowest one I'd ever seen at like 12 or 1,300. And I think the Republic VR was at 1,800. So like this is definitely at the lower end of the spectrum. Usually it's 2,000, 2,500, 4,000, 5,000. So if you like your physical PSVR collection, do not pass up.
Oh, shit. You just reminded me. Where's my Republic Collector's Edition?
I don't know.
Did you get yours?
I don't know. There's 7 packages over by the door that I just like. I'm just not even opening packages anymore.
What the hell?
When I run out of deodorant, I'm like, is that in one of the packages?
That's when you find your retro game that you bought like a year ago. No, where's the Republic collector's edition? It looks so cool. Man,
I did check the shipping updates recently on limitedrungames.com, and it said still in production. Didn't say that it was shipped, but that was like
what the hell?
So I don't know.
Dang, man. Well, you just reminded me now. Now I'm mad about that. But this is great news because I actually really liked Wins and Leaves a lot, and I don't know if I care about the soundtrack. But the game was cool, and this is definitely one like a To the Top that I would like to have a physical copy of. I think it's actually a damn good game. I know it's not for everybody. I didn't think it was going to be for me, but I loved it. Yeah, this is a cool addition to the physical thing. That's the best way for games preservation. You're always talking about how important game preservation is to you, and physical copies, man. If the Souls Project had done this at the time, we wouldn't be having the same issue with it being gone. Are
you telling me you don't have a copy of the Souls Project? Because
what's gonna happen now? What would have happened is that 10 years from now, or no, not even just a few years from now, Wins and Leaves would be delisted from the store, and people would be like, "Oh, I didn't get to play it." Like, oh, now like they would want it even more. And now you can always have it. I'm not making fun of people that talk about Souls Project. I feel for you guys. It's a great game.
I totally agree. Souls Project is amazing. I still can't figure out why that was delisted. There's no reason for it. I'm sure they could still be making money off of it. It was working fine. I don't understand what they did. But this is, when it comes, there's a lot of, sirens on my end. There's a lot of PSVR games that I've passed on and just been like, you know what? I don't need this in my collection. I've got too many PSVR games. Perp has been really good about sending me stuff, and I was, diligent about collecting things for a while. And then it got to be too much. Like my PS4 collection is just stupid, and I don't care that much about having physical PS4 games that much. But there's something about this, and maybe it's just the limited nature of it. Maybe it's just that it is because of the low print run. That could be the appeal here. But it needs to be something special, and I'm glad that the print run on this is so low, and hopefully all of you cats who want it, who are interested in physical collections, I'm pointing at you.
I don't even think. I think they might. I don't even think they'll sell out the limited run.
We'll see.
They just won't.
We'll see. I mean, the fact that Republic took months to sell out. This, I don't know. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. But I think if I'm correct, it goes on sale Friday at 10 a.m. They sell out half the stock, and then they cut off sales until 6 p.m. And so you get 2 chances on Friday to double check those times on limitedrungames.com. But this is, I think I gave this like a high 6 or something like that, which means it was fine. But it just had a lot of things that got in the way of me really, really loving it. But still, I do think it's a special game, even if it wasn't executed as well as I would have liked, personally.
Yeah, I think there's always a game that people aren't into at a certain time. No matter how good a game is, it can come out. There will always be somebody that's not interested. It took me 10 years to play Journey, right? and like I literally just played Journey for the first time, or like beat it for the first time. Like literally 2 months ago, a month or two ago. And at that time, those kind of artsy fartsy games just weren't any interest to me. And like, some of these games, that's the case, where a lot of these VR games, like they might not seem important now, but I think maybe in the future, there's going to be some people at least that are going to be like, oh, I wish I played that. Like I would have loved this. I've gotten all the shooting and running and gunning out of my system. I need something more chill, and you're gonna wish you bought it.
Is anyone else out there wondering what other artsy fartsy games AJ passed up on in his youth? Because I know I am. Did you play Eco?
No. Well, no, I didn't. I did play The Last Guardian eventually when I got a PS5.
Man,
I know all about Eco though. I never played Shadow of the Colossus either. Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with.
I have a Shadow of the Colossus painting behind me too that my friend made. I know. Sacrilege. At least I got it on PS5. I'll get around to it. VR is more important to me. I was playing VR Lucky's Tale Time Trials over Elden Ring and like all these other games.
But in all fairness, how many hours had you sunk into Elden Ring before you decided to play the crap out of Lucky's Tale?
60. So 60. I got through the tutorial.
Nice. All right, man. Let's move on. Developer BitPlanet Games got a little bit transparent this week about Ultrawings 2 on PlayStation VR 1. And sad news for everyone involved, meaning everyone currently in the chat. We're not getting the game on PlayStation VR 1, unfortunately. Their destination is PSVR 2. And that's really sad, man. That's really sad. Are you broken up about this, or are you all right?
No. We were going to get a Quest port, so, like, I'd rather play the... Well, it kind of depends. Like, yeah, I really wanted to play this game. I was very vocal about it. Trying to get them to bring it to PSVR and stuff, but I can wait. The problem is by the time it actually comes out, I mean, I don't know. I think there might be way more games that I'm interested in. If Sony's dropping AAA PSVR 2 games, there's PC quality, independently made games and stuff. Like this is going to be the low, like really low on the totem pole. So we'll see what happens. I think I would have enjoyed it more on PSVR 1 for sure.
Yeah, Dan Kiefer in the chat says they felt it wasn't worth doing on PSVR, and I think the answer is yes. And I think if you look at, unfortunately, you can't really look at sales because Sony keeps that shit relatively secret, so you don't really know how many copies of each game are being sold. You just see rankings. You say, oh, here are the top 10 that are sold on PS4, top 10 PSVR games, top 10 PS5 games, but you don't know, was number one on that list sell 500,000 copies or 30 copies, and I think that's sort of the misleading thing about the PSVR 1 sales charts right now. We go, oh look, Beat Saber's still number one, and look, blah 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 blah. But really, how many copies of these games are selling? And I think that BitPlanet talked to a few people in the industry. I don't think they. I know that they talk to a few people in the industry, and everyone's saying the same thing right now. It's like that sales are just so low. And even in our own community, when you and I, AJ, will rave about a game, be like 10 out of 10, this is amazing, and blah, 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 you got to play this right now, it's the best thing ever. And half the people go, well, wait for a sale. And like, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. And no offense to anybody who has to wait for a sale, because that's fucking everybody's prerogative. Vote with your wallet. If you think a game's too expensive, fucking wait. But also, we are the last of the Mohicans, man. And I'm sure that's super fucking racist to anyone out there. It's like, don't compare yourself to the last of the Mohicans. But we're it, man. We're a dying breed. PSVR1 players are a dying breed. And ultimately, if we're not supporting the developers and buying their games at launch, then we're not getting any more games for the rest of the year.
We could go Terminator and be like, we are the Resistance.
I mean, that's
John
way
Connor.
less offensive, I'm sure.
Keep playing PSVR games.
So yeah, as Dan Kiefer said, he says, I suppose this is it for PSVR. And you're not totally wrong, man. It's like you don't give up all hope, because a lot of developers are still saying their game is coming to PSVR this year. And there's quite a few games still listed. If you go on Discord and you check out the PSVR release schedule, I updated it today, and I think it's pretty accurate at this point. We should still be getting the next chapter of Saints and Sinners. We should still be getting like Final Space said they were coming to PSVR soon. Our next story, I'm going to kind of segue into that right now, is a Dash Dash World. It got again pushed further and further along into this year. They said it's either going to come out at the end of this year, the end of 2022, or the beginning of 2023, which means I might owe AJ a pizza because if it gets pushed into next year, I know that I told him I would buy him a pizza, because I was pretty confident it would be this year. And at this point, I kind of don't know.
Not coming to PSVR 1.
That's what I don't know.
Forest City Fishing says PSVR 1 sucks. You know what? Something you suck. Get wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, it's not doing great, but it's also been out for 6 years, so its final year is like, we started off the year with Zenith and Wanderer, and then we got Republic and Lucky's Tale and a few other good games. So we're actually not starting off the final year way nearly as bad as Quest has been doing for the last couple of years. Right? So Quest is fucking garbage compared to PSVR 1.
Forest City's he's probably sitting back here watching this like, VR's like 3D TVs.
No one wants to wear a box on their face.
Nobody wants to play VR. You're so cool, Forest City.
By the way, this is what makes Monday's shows different than Wednesdays and Fridays shows. Just want to point that out.
He's gonna find me and kill me now.
Yeah.
I take it back.
But yeah, I mean, we're not blind to what's going on. We're reporting right now on what's going on with PSVR 1. It had a fucking great run, man. We had so many games. We had more games than we rightfully deserved, better games than we rightfully deserved at certain points. I'm just, I'm glad it was so much fun while it lasted, and I think we might still have a decent year left in us. There's still a few games that come out. We're going to be hearing about Among Us on the 20th on the Oculus Showcase.
Oh God, that's right, yeah.
And so and that's why I was really hoping, because I think Among Us is going to be a game that we're all going to play a lot together.
Yeah, we will.
Right? And so it's these kind of games that are going to really make 2022 way more tolerable, because we might have way fewer releases, but the games that come out, I think we'll be able to play a lot more, the multiplayer games. And that's why I was hoping for Dash Dash sooner rather than later. And I think you're right. I think it could end up just being a PSVR 2 title.
Yeah, and look, man, I don't blame any dev that does that. Like, I've selfishly told developers, well, this is the thing, is that if they're having trouble getting on PSVR 2 or something, I do think it is a wise decision. If they don't have any contacts with Sony, don't have a good relationship, they're not in with Sony right now, I think just targeting PSVR 1 is a great option, because look what happened to Ultrawings. I mean, just like we were saying. I think they would have, yeah, I don't blame developers for, at this point, at this stage in the life cycle, starting to target PSVR 2. You have my blessing from this moment forth, because the rest of this year is going to be all just ramping up for PSVR2. So, but that being said, any developer that releases
you
a
have
PSVR
AJ's blessing. They're all tuning in. They're like, please AJ, please let it. We
you
hope
have my aim controller and my move controllers.
Oh my god.
And my HOTUS. That being said, any developer that releases anything on PSVR, I'm going to play the absolute shit out of it.
Yep.
I have loved a lot of the releases this year, and I've had a absolute blast. So, but I'm just saying, I don't hold it against them.
Sayo in the chat says Brian loves to hate on the Quest. I do, man. I think it's a running gag. I've got my Quest. I've got my Quest controllers handy right here. My Quest is right. I mean, I play my Quest fucking pretty frequently, man.
Everybody calls me a fanboy because I hang out with you, and then they're like, "You're corrupting Brian." I'm like, You've got this so backwards.
if you're new to the show, then maybe you don't get that I'm joking. But I play my Quest. I mean, at this point, mostly because of Walkabout, as much as my PSVR. So once
I know,
I'm fucking total traitor. Once Walkabout comes to PSVR, though, my Quest can suck it. No, I'm never going to stop making fun of the Quest. I love playing PS2 games in VR. Don't you? Anyway, we should move along because we've got the most amazing news today about the best rhythm game of all time. And that is that Synth Riders has a brand new track pack, and it's going to satisfy every single person out there because who the fuck is this?
Lindsey Sterling.
Thanks. That's exactly what I
That's all right.
No idea who that is. Yep.
Well, Lindsey Sterling is a violinist and dancer who has really become popular over the last 5 or 10 years or something. She's better than Fall Out Boy, let me tell you right now. She's better than anything Beat Saber puts into their music. No, I don't know.
I'm about to cue the fucking cat.
I haven't. I honestly don't listen to her, obviously. But what I do know her for is that within the last 5-10 years or something, she really gained a lot of popularity. She is a really great instrumentalist. But she did I want to say she did covers of Skyrim with violin and she did Dragon Age Inquisition, which I really loved actually. I don't know if she wrote the soundtrack for that or if she just did a cover of it. I know she did a lot of video game covers. But she's well known in the gaming community, whether you know her or not. She'll be fine with her 100 million follower fan base or whatever, but yeah, I don't really know much about her other than what I've just told you. But
guess what? Fall Out Boy is doing just fine, whether you care about them or not. Too. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
Unfortunately,
Fall Out Boy is not hurting for fans at all. So I don't. This is the first time I've heard of Lindsey. I checked out a couple of her songs. For any fans out there, for people who this matters to, this pack will have 5 songs in it. It's $2 a song or $8 for all 5 songs for the pack. It's Shadows, Mirage, First Light, Shatter Me, and then Underground, which I'm sure you're going to be a fan of because you're such
I am instantly a fan of this pack.
Yeah. Yeah. And Underground will be an experience as well, which there are brutally few of. What is this? Only the 5th experience that they've made? 5th, 6th?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. I love this game, man. And what will be interesting is so she plays the violin. I wonder if they're going to have more of this literal mapping that they do where you maybe makes you feel like you're playing a violin or something. That'd be really cool. I think that'd be sick. And yeah, I don't know any of the songs.
I find you to be so much more forgiving of whatever Synth Riders chooses for their song packs than what Beat Saber does. If this was the next track pack on Beat Saber, you'd be like, more fucking garbage, man. It just proves that you're not listening to what anybody wants. Everybody wants metal. This is garbage, man. I mean,
I cannot confirm nor deny these.
Call a spade a spade. No, dude, and this is fine. I love that they've got a nice diverse track pack. This is something that's definitely different-ish for Synth Riders, different enough. I will tell you that I'm just not buying anything for Synth Riders because none of this convinces me to start it back up. It's just a preference, obviously. I enjoy Beat Saber more, and so I buy every single track pack that comes to Beat Saber, and I love it. But Synth Riders has not roped me in. I played the crap out of it for the first week, and then I just went right back to Beat Saber. So it's just not for me. And maybe multiplayer will be the thing that convinces me that Synth Riders is the better game. And I really hope
multiplayer is definitely the big thing they needed.
And when the hell is that coming? Never?
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to guess, just throwing this out there, is that they probably tried to make it cross-platform, and that's like impossible, probably. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really unfortunate. I think they shot themselves in the foot a little bit by not, doing whatever it takes to get multiplayer going, because that really is an amazing part of Synth Riders that is just missing right now.
Yeah, I mean, they also said it's coming soon. And this game came out how long ago at this point? Like, soon no longer applies in this scenario. But
yeah,
I don't know. I do know I'm probably, you know what, dude, as much as I want to move on to the next news story, I do want to ask in the chat just to see where the temperature is on all of this. I'm going to create a poll. Which is better? Which do you like better? So what game do you prefer, you guys? But I'm going to put Beat Saber and Synth Riders, and this is a question as old as the games themselves, but I do want to kind of get a temperature check and see if anything has changed. So I'm going to add that to the chat. So you guys let us know, and we'll check back in on this after the next topic. AJ.
Hey.
Do you like horror games?
Do you like scary VR games, Brian?
Dude, I mean, that's all I think about day in, day out. And so...
What's your favorite scary VR game, Brian? We all know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, can the chat just answer for me? It seems like a waste of my time to tell you and them things they already know.
Could you be leading into a conversation about an upcoming game on all platforms and next-gen consoles and getting VR support called MADiSON?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can talk about that game if you want.
Oh, was there another one?
No, that's it. It's from Bloodiest Games, and I didn't do my due diligence. Let's see if they made any other games.
Bloodiest.
I don't see any other games made by them. But yeah, so it's called MADiSON, and according to the what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Steam store page. Why are you making my life more difficult than it needs to be? MADiSON is a first-person psychological horror game that delivers an immersive and terrifying experience with the help of an instant camera, which you know I love already because I love Fatal Frame. Connect the human world with the beyond. Take pictures and develop them yourself. I'm not sure if I like that. Solve puzzles, explore your surroundings, and most importantly, survive. Wait a minute. It's an instant camera and we have to develop them ourselves? I thought the point of instant cameras is that just goes bzzz, and you shake it like a Polaroid. No, not.
Oh, you have to take it into like one of those like red rooms, or what are those called? I forget.
Dark room.
A dark room, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like take it in there and develop it.
I mean,
like,
I don't know.
Solution and stuff.
Let's see.
I thought it.
Let's see the storyline. What would you do if you woke up in
VR though?
I mean, I think so too. I mean.
That'd be terrifying. You're like, you take a picture and you're like shaking it and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh, okay. So if you look at you know what, I'm just going to bring up the Steam store page because it answers all of our questions. And I love when things answer our questions. So let's see, let's go over here and I'll bring you guys with us. And you can see what I'm looking at. Here we go. Transition. There we are. Okay, so you guys are looking at the Steam store page now with us, and let's interact. And let me fade that. So they keep calling it an instant camera, and it says develop them yourself. And you can see here he's shaking it like a Polaroid photo. So I think develop it yourself just means go. So I think we're good. Yeah. I think we're good. Randomly activated events and changing puzzles throughout the game assures a higher level of replayability. Get lost in this immersive and terrifying experience thanks to high quality visuals and 3D sounds. Blah, 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 blah. Now, this game is coming out on June 24th of this year, but the VR version does not have a release date yet. As far as I know, that is a that is just for the flat screen version.
Yeah, the VR version is, I think, is either being developed or is in development. They said that they've already signed contracts on it. This game first caught my attention, which I almost texted you about it, but I was like, nah. But it was there was an email from Perp Games that was saying it's coming to PS4, and I think it said something like next gen consoles, and I thought it was weird that they said next gen consoles instead of just PS5. So I don't know. I didn't know if that was like Perp Games giving us a little hint, like a wink or something, but because it's like you could just say like PS5. It is current gen. Is PS5 is current gen. So I don't know. I figured I was reading too much into that. But then I looked on Reddit and I saw that somebody had been talking. They were talking in the Steam forums. And they noticed that the developer had said that that the game is definitely coming to VR, and that they would like to bring it to PlayStation VR2 as well. So, that's not going to be such a hard thing to do in the near future.
Yeah, and it seems like something that we're going to be hearing a lot more of. I mean, this is, as far as the PSVR2 news story, we're pretty fucking light on details here. Like, it's like, oh, we really want to do it. That's sort of the end of that statement. Yes, we're going to bring it to PC VR, and yeah, we really want to bring it to PSVR 2 as well. And I think that for right now, that's all we're going to hear about a lot of these games. But throughout the course of the year, as we get closer to the PlayStation VR 2 launch, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to Twitter today, but some people out there just realized that I've been calling the PSVR 2 launch window Q1 2023, and so there was a brand new conversation on Twitter today. People thinking that this is like new information. As far as I know, it's still Q1 2023. But I've been hearing all sorts of different rumblings, different leakers, quote unquote, different people with different sources are still claiming Q4 this year. So it's going to be a very interesting year. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be really fucking happy to be wrong if that's the case. Like, yeah,
I actually hope we're wrong here. But I don't see it unless something changed. But no, it comes directly from Sony. So it's like, what better source than Sony themselves than, to have that. But yeah, of course, I hope it comes a little sooner.
Yeah. Shit changes behind the scenes all the time. And so it's, if something changed, amazing. Like I don't want anybody out there thinking that like, oh, I need to be right or whatever. Dude, if it's Q4
I would rather be wrong.
Yes. I can't wait to be wrong about this.
Yeah. I mean, they also said that there's a PSVR 2 event next week. So I don't know.
Next week?
I think it would be next week. Yeah.
It's not next week.
It's so.
Oh, that's all I'm going to say about that. Larry Chi with the $5 tip has a dancing pair for us. Thank you so much for the dancing pair. We love you. I haven't missed any other tips, have I?
That's what the insiders have been saying. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, so. Yeah, they're wrong about that. Yeah. Let's check in on this poll. The poll is telling us, okay, with 69 votes, not a bad place to stop it. 51% of you like Synth Riders better. 51%.
Oh, shit! My people, let's go! I mean, of course, Beat Saber has outsold Synth Riders probably like 1 million to 10, but that's because we got people that like good music and good, and I don't know what it meant. I'm proud of you, cats.
I'm patient. I don't want to hit end poll yet because I'm like, if just a few more people vote, we can change the tides, right? But I got to end it here. And
cheater.
There we go.
Cheater. Listen, always be cheating.
Listen. It's not. It's all about who wins at the end of the voting, right? It doesn't matter what happens throughout the course of the voting, despite what some people believe, is all how it ends. There was somebody, this is so funny. I saw somebody on Twitter, and again, this is like, Twitter is just a fucking cesspool, man. But I still enjoy it. I love Twitter so much, but Twitter is a cesspool. And I saw somebody trying to defend the 360 and being like, oh, it doesn't matter. The 360 was outselling the PS3 for like 90% of that generation. And I was like, and then how did it end? Oh, right. The PS3 outsold the 360. Not that I care. Like, it doesn't matter. That was Sony at its best, though. Like, fighting, scraping from the bottom up, going, we can do this, giving us everything we wanted. And that's what we need Sony to be again.
That's the importance of competition, man, and keeping companies as honest as possible. You know, right now the competition is how can we squeeze more money or how can we be more sleazy, and that's the bad thing we're in right now. And you know, hopefully somebody will come around and set an example once again of how to do things right, and then it makes other people do things better and more right. And yeah, we need a hero.
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't paying attention to anything you just said. So let's move on to the next news story so I don't have to respond. I mean, this is typical.
Nothing important.
If you've ever listened in on a phone call between me and AJ, this is pretty much how it goes. The big news story of the day, though, is that Sony has invested $1 billion.
Billion, you say?
Did we just do that in unison?
Yeah, we did.
That's great.
We did.
Yes, $1 billion in Epic Games, and I don't even know what trailer to play. Do I have a Fortnite trailer? No, but I have a Snow Fortress trailer, which is not even the same. I typed in Fort, and this is what came up. So enjoy the Snow Fortress trailer, everybody. Does anybody remember Snow Fortress? This game's terrible, but we were all desperate for good games back in the beginning, so we fucking dealt with it. So let's see here. What's the best place for this story? I think I know people don't love Kotaku, but I think we're going to go to Kotaku on this one. So let me bring up this article for everybody. Man, I wish I had a producer on this show, so like somebody could be doing this for us. All right, here we go. Sony goes big on Epic Games with whopping $1 billion investment. AJ, since I have a very tiny window over here, that's what she said. Would you mind reading this for me?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Just feel free to cut me off or stop or whatever.
Okay.
Epic Games recently announced an epic new wave of fundraising, notable both for the $2 billion it's pulled in and for an eye-raising firm present among the leading partners. Sony, the makers of PlayStation VR, have invested a cool $1 billion in Epic to further the development of new digital fan experiences and the metaverse.
Well, let's stop right there.
Yeah, whoa. Okay, so I didn't realize they were going to mention VR at all.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that was brought up out and thankfully outside of some Facebook discussion, right? Like Facebook has nothing to do with this. This is Epic, this is Sony, and the people who make Legos. And so to talk about the metaverse, I really, really hope that Sony tries to like reclaim this terminology, and or at least, you know, we're not saying to take it back for ourselves, but at least make it understood that the metaverse is not exclusive to Meta, the company. Like that's absolutely silly how they've tried to like maneuver that. It's just dumb. And so I'm glad they're talking about the metaverse as if it's a thing outside of Facebook.
Right.
But then they're also talking about VR in this with this investment, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is random. Well, today's news. Oh, sorry.
No. You know what? We'll get back to it. Get back to it.
Today's news comes fresh on the heels of Epic showing off some impressive new tech. Last week, Epic Games hosted a showcase for the release of Unreal 5, the latest iteration of its powerful 3D rendering engine, featuring a number of high-profile developers, including the Coalition, a Microsoft-owned studio best known for recent Gears games. Excuse me. And CD Projekt Red, who's developing the next Witcher game in Unreal 5. As for stuff you can actually get your hands on today, Unreal 5 was used to create The Matrix Awakens, a tech demo for PS5 and Xbox Series X, with graphics so real-looking some people were like, whoa, I can't tell what's real or what's not, man.
And, dude, that's not like hyperbole either. Like, that's really one of the most impressive tech demos I've ever seen.
That is true. I mean, that was the whole thing about it. That like I really wasn't able to tell. This isn't the only significant. What are you doing? Stupid ads. Oh God, Kotaku, you're the worst. Ad just popped up and threw my page around. Hold on. This isn't the only significant investment Sony has made in Epic. In 2020, Sony invested $250 million for reasons that, at least publicly, could only be defined as a bunch of business buzzwords. A year later, Sony poured a further $200 million in for much of the same. Today's investment, the third to date, is more than twice the prior two combined. It's not totally clear what all this money is for, whether it's laying the groundwork for eventual PlayStation exclusivity and of future games developed by Epic, or, as heavily suggested by statements from the CEO of both companies, more about beefing up Sony's virtual reality endeavors. Sony's PSVR2 is coming at some point. Representatives for Sony did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Epic Games, meanwhile, simply redirected Kotaku toward the press release announcing today's news. This is really interesting, man. I am suddenly really interested in this. You know what this means, Brian? It means we're getting Fortnite on PSVR 2. Woo!
I mean, maybe. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of people in the chat that
why
are like,
not.
fuck Fortnite. You know, a lot of people just like hate it because it's, I don't know. Is it known as a kid's game? Is that sort of the general narrative surrounding it?
I don't think, no, it's not known as a kid's game. It's just
Every kid plays it.
every kid plays it. Yeah.
Right. Minecraft isn't a kid's game, but every kid plays it. Yeah, for sure. And so I can kind of see like the discourse being like a little bit on the negative side about this, but also, and for anyone thinking, oh, Fortnite's not going to work in VR. I mean,
oh, it would.
There may have to be like an exclusive VR, you know, exclusive
Right.
VR
It would be
lobbies,
a
that kind of thing.
standalone. It would be like a standalone thing. It wouldn't maybe mesh with the regular one, but it would be Fortnite VR and its own thing.
I gotta ask you, AJ. I was gonna interrupt you during the very elegant, by the way, reading of the article. Thank you for that. But do you remember in 2018 there was this letter that was sent between Epic and Sony, and then back to Gio Corsi and somebody at Epic, and it was all about crossplay. And basically Sony was making it difficult for Epic to bring crossplay into Fortnite, and so we actually got to see these emails. And so, if in case you've all forgotten about this is the email. And so Epic responds to Gio Corsi and being like, hey, listen, we love working with PlayStation, but don't let this drag out. This is absolutely ridiculous. We're not going to change our stance on anything. We need crossplay, and you need to give it to us. Like, fuck your regular concerns. This is a big game, and we need you to get on board with this. And here's what we can propose. And Epic sent out a list of 7 different things, 7 possibilities of what they could propose to kind of like make a deal. Be like, you give us crossplay, and here's what we can do for you. And number 5 on this list that you can see right in front of you, Epic is willing to explore more items. Maybe we commit to a game at the launch of your next VR platform. And then fast forward 4 years. And we've got, and now we've got this. Sony has now put in roughly $1.45 billion into the company, and now the first thing that comes out of this investment is talk about the metaverse in VR. There's no coincidence here, man. I think in 2018 this was the beginning of these discussions.
Yeah, this is very interesting because the thing is, it doesn't necessarily even have to, like, it could go much further than just Fortnite and VR. I mean, it could literally be a metaverse kind of situation, like a social, a whole social thing like PlayStation Home was, Epic and PlayStation have had a huge, really much stronger relationship in the last few years. And, and honestly, Sony kind of needs them, with Microsoft buying, getting all these acquisitions of, Activision Blizzard and the Bethesda and stuff. They need these partners more than ever. So this could be actually really, really good for them. And we already know that PlayStation VR 2 and PlayStation are partnered with Unreal Engine 5. They're listed as official partners. And this kind of, to me, I don't know if maybe it's something we see in the future, but was this investment, is this new? I mean, did they just announced
They
this?
just announced it today, and
yeah,
but prior, the last year or two, they had put in almost $500 million prior to this. But
Right.
yeah, this new $1 billion investment, and the company's worth about $30 billion, I think. So that means Sony owns about 1/30th, a little more than 1/30th of the company.
I mean, this could, you know, it would be interesting to see if they had already been working on something for Sony, and then we get it at launch. But it certainly means we'll get something in the future. I don't know the scale or the scope of what it would be, but you know, you'd have to imagine it could be something pretty big. Epic Games doesn't mess around.
Well, Seymour, the beaver-looking game cat with the $2 tip says Alan Wake 2 VR. And so, yeah, so I think the natural inclination for most people would be like, oh, Fortnite. We need to make sure that, like, you know, PlayStation VR 2 lands, you know, and has the most popular games of all time at its disposal and blah, 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 whatever. You know, here's what's going to sell headsets. Grand Theft Auto 5, Fortnite, Minecraft, Skyrim, you know, all these games that are just really going to impress people. But Alan Wake 2 or Alan Wake 1 and 2, I mean, there's so many games developed and published by Epic Games that are at their disposal that they could also take advantage of. I just don't know if you want to kick off your big splash, you know, with like, oh, Alan Wake, which is a great game. But if there's a possibility to get a VR version of Fortnite over Alan Wake, I would hope that they would prioritize that. Not because I want it more. I definitely would rather have Alan Wake.
Why not both?
Why to sell more headsets.
Hey, you know, I don't give a shit about battle royale games, but when I played Rec Royale, that shit was fun. And I think, you know, I don't really care about Fortnite at all. I've never played it. Don't care to. If you put VR into things, and it changes everything for me. I will suddenly be interested and give it a chance. And if it's a great game, I will even enjoy the shit out of it. So this will be really interesting to see if anything, you know, happens at launch of PSVR 2. But you have to expect this is going to mean a lot for the future as well. Maybe this is something we don't see take effect for several years from now. But when PSVR 2 is nearing the end of its lifespan, and you're getting these huge Epic Games exclusive releases 6 years in, then we'll know where that began.
Neon Groove in the chat says, sometimes I feel like I'm alone wanting new IPs in VR rather than flat games in VR. You're not alone, but I think for the sake of the headset, what's going to sell the headset so that we can get new IPs are these hugely popular IPs that are already have a user base that people are already excited about. And so you're not alone, but I think the narrative is going to like revolve heavily around popular IPs for at least, you know, the launch period. And because these games are going to get people into VR, then you can start selling them these original IPs that were built from the ground up for VR. And it's sort of like Fortnite could very well be a gateway drug. Just like I think Skyrim and Minecraft and a bunch of other big IPs were a big gateway drug for people on PSVR 1. Like once you got into there, you were like, oh my God, Immortal Legacy is amazing.
Oh God!
Maybe not everybody.
You had me. I was gonna say, listen to everything this man is saying.
Get to the finish line. We're about to cross the line,
and then choke.
So close.
But no,
so
everything
close.
you said is 100% spot on, man.
Yeah.
Once VR is in the 50 million people own headsets, then developers can take more risks with IPs. But this is how it's got to go. You know, there still be breakout games here and there, of course.
Yeah.
There probably will be a bunch this gen, but this is how you get people's attention, just like the snap of a finger, like that.
Agreed. Absolutely. It's even though Fortnite's a huge game, it's still cheaper to bring your existing game into VR and then sell the crap out of it than to build a new IP that people aren't 100% convinced is going to be great. Serial Killer with a $2 tip. Serial Killer, the official Game Cat trademark, I'm sorry, with a $2 tip says, anyone play Pop 1? Heard it's like Fortnite VR. Dude, Pop 1 is definitely another amazing reason to own a Quest 2, by the way. Great game. That team was stolen from us because they made dodgeball guns, man. I miss dodgeball guns. AJ!
Yeah.
It is Monday. It is time. By the way, I totally forgot to do Game Cat name changes today. I'm sorry, man. My weekend was odd. I had a very odd weekend. I had a very odd day today. I apologize.
That's a Friday thing. What are you talking about?
Oh, we're gonna no, like you haven't been around. Like, don't you know about the changes? We don't cue
No.
the cat anymore when you're not around. That's an AJ thing. We don't, and we're gonna start doing game cat name
That
changes
I
every
knew.
Monday because that's a you and me thing, man. Like Wes
Okay.
and I and Miles and I will develop our own things over time, but you and
Yeah.
I have these like traditions, and I feel like taking them away from you is stupid. So
It's all about family, Brian.
I'm about to take them away from you. AJ, it's time for PSVR 20 questions, and I think you're the host. Did you pick out a game?
I am the hostess with the mostest. Let's go.
Nice.
I'm
Let
ready.
me put up 6 minutes on the clock, guys. Please help me. I'm going to need all of the help I can get because I suck at this game, surprisingly, even though I've done it hundreds of times at this point. On your market, set, go.
Shit.
Did you say shit?
I said, holy shit. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Has this developer made other PSVR games?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
God, I hope I'm not wrong about that.
Okay, well, you're already cheating. Is this? Can you play this game with the moves?
Yes.
Okay. Can you play this game with any other control? Or this is a bad question. Just ask. Okay, well, yeah. Can I?
Nay.
Okay, just moves. Just moves. Okay.
Okay, and it looks like my answer to the first question stands.
Okay. Good. Is this a puzzle game?
Is not a puzzle game. F that garbage.
Okay, I'm making a not column, not puzzle. Is this game played in first person?
This game is played in first person. Mostly. It's played in first person, yes. Ooh, did I
Tip
just
in the
give you a
chat. She's
hint?
calling you sus. And I think she's right. Mostly. Do you do a lot of shooting? You do a lot of shooting in this game?
A lot. You do some.
You do some shooting.
That is number 6.
Some shooting. Let's see.
It could pass as a lot, I suppose, yeah. But I'd say some.
Would you call this a full-fledged game rather than an experience?
I would definitely call this a game over an experience, yes.
Okay. Here's what we know so far, guys. See, this, as far as we know, the only game made by these developers, moves only. It's first person, although it sounds like there may be moments where it's not. There's some shooting, maybe even quite a bit of shooting. It is a game, not an experience, not a puzzle game. Is there any horror in this game?
No, there's no horror in this.
Okay. Would you call this cartoony?
It is definitely not cartoony.
Would you find this on a top 25 list, whether it be actually on a top 25 or considered for a top 25?
That's a good question.
I know, that's why I asked it.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think so. No, you typically wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, Ian, that's a good question. Do you use magic in this game?
You do not use magic in this game.
Okay, so we're thinking guns. Okay, we'll go with Roy. Is there full locomotion?
There is full locomotion. That's 12.
Oh my God, we're running out of questions. Okay, do you control vehicles?
You do control vehicles in this game.
Okay, vehicles, first person, mostly some shooting, full locomotion, full game, not puzzles, not... Man, we got to figure out what genre it is. Does it have any... Is there anything about the locomotion that separates this game from other games? Can you do anything crazy with the locomotion?
I would say if it's separated, if the locomotion is separated from other games, it's not in a good way. I would say. Maybe.
Okay. That kind of eliminates Stride. That kind of eliminates Sirento.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of those when it comes to locomotion.
Is this game based on an existing IP or flat screen game?
This game is based on an existing IP. That's 15.
Man, everybody in the chat is saying the same thing. Would this be a game by Rockstar?
This would be a game by Rockstar.
Shout out to everybody yelling LA Noire in the chat because I think you saved me. I wasn't going down that path at all. Is it LA Noire, the VR case files?
It is LA Noire, the VR case files. Woohoo! Good job, cats. Good job.
Good job, cats. Not good job, Brian. That's for fucking sure. I really like this game.
You steered the boat. Okay.
Yeah, but they were all pushing it. I promise you. I was just a guy going faster, faster.
GG cats, GG.
Yeah, good game, guys. Thank you so much for all the help. I love this game. If this was the full game of LA Noire, this would be probably one of my favorite games on the platform. I think this is so well done in so many different ways. But the fact it's only like a third of the game, it's like, so disappointing. But still very well done for what's here. Good stuff.
It has some amazing things in it. It also does some awful things in it. But
like
the amazing, the momentum-based turning, when you're talking about the locomotion, teleporting up a pole instead of climbing it.
Yeah.
But man, like the facial animations and stuff in this, like so good, and the graphics in certain places, and truly some really unique, incredible things because they got that Rockstar money in it. But
yeah, for sure. I love driving in this game. Very seldom do you get to drive with two hands on the wheel with move controllers, and it just feels like you're driving a boat because the whole thing is creaking. I love it, man. It feels so good. Guys, we got to get out of here, man. We're running way over our time, but thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out. Don't forget to support me on patreon.com/withoutparole Support AJ by going over to his channel, PSVR Underground, and subscribing to him. Have you started selling your beanies yet?
Dude, the beanies are selling like hotcakes. I didn't raise the price on them yet either. I forgot to do that. But yeah, right. There's still no profit right now on the thing. Shout out to everybody who bought some merch. I see you, Tiff. Tiff actually bought a t-shirt. Tell me how that t-shirt is, because I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
I ordered a bunch myself too, so I can demo it. But right now I'll just let Tiff buy it and tell me if it's good or not.
I'm gonna have
She'll
to
be
get
my guinea pig.
I have to get a beanie to wear on Wednesdays and Fridays so people don't miss you too much. like, he's here in spirit. All right,
Streamlabs.com/PSVR Underground. You can hold off though. I won't raise the price for you guys just yet.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
I want to support you, but just not
financially. It ain't about the money, Brian. It's about family.
God, dude, I know it. Everything on the Without Parole store, I'm making maybe like $1 or $2 on it most each item. Thank you so much for everyone hanging out. Thank you to all the mods who keep my life super easy, not just here, but over on Discord. Make sure you join us on Discord by clicking the link in the description below. That's where all the multiplayer meetups happen. That's where you can find the PSVR release schedule. That's where we just hang out fucking way too long every day and don't get work done. Also, thank you to Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry, who puts all the timestamps in. And of course, thank you to AJ showing up Monday. Man, it's always good to see you. It makes it feel like more of a reunion when I haven't seen you all week. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who support us by tipping during the show. And of course, everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there and we love you just as much. It's Monday. So let's cue the cat.
Cue the cat, Brian, because we will see you on West Day. To be Tribble, always doing God's work, still doing God's work. Dan Kiefer in the house says, time for nachos. Ooh, nachos sound good. Tom Flesh Eater Gaming, much love to you, my friend. Stay metal. Jazzy Data, Tarot Mage, Game Cat, Chrome Colossus in Dreams. Zombie 5150. Mew, mew, mew. He says, Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad of the house. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the show. Guys on fist bump to you. Caramel 004 the lights. Yeah, Game Cat. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Aceville VR in the chat. Aiden, if you're listening, play Astrobot. You'll get lots of really good sugar-full cereal in the morning and stuff.
And then get Aceville to buy you Immortal Legacy. But yes. You didn't hear it from me.
I thought you were going to say motorcycle. Aceville will buy you a motorcycle when you grow up, of course, when it's safe. Hack the Game Cat. I knew it was lit up in here. Move Master Mick. The shape throwing PSVR game. Cat throw them shapes, homie. ET.2K9.now says happy vibes. Thank you, man.
Thank you for the $10 tip, man.
And sharing the happy vibes. We love happy vibes. Super Galaxy Godstar, later to you. Dorothy the Balkan Cat. Dorothy, I miss you, man. I need to. I miss you. We need another multiplayer game where all the cats can get together and we just need another MMO. Maybe that Elysia game comes out sometime soon. Sharibo Frost the Boop Cat, congratulations on your announcement of To the Top 2 Super Kit. It looks great. GC13 Die Pepsi Cat. Cat symbol, cat symbol, cat symbol. Thank you so much, Tip. Appreciate you dropping by, and thanks for buying my merch. Serial Killer, the official Game Cat TM trademark. Don't use that name, or he will sue you. Markio, the Drifter Game Cat. Steve IRE, so good to see you. David, the Game Cat runs. You as well. Virtual Strangers, West in the house. Vargo Soft, Matt Too Much, Emily Baxter, the hashtag Cartoony Witch Game Kitten. It's not a cartoony stream. Don't worry. Y'all have a wonderful night. See you on Wednesday. Hump day, hump day, hump day, hump day.
West Nest Day. West Day is just too easy to say. We need to make it more complicated. Good night, everybody.
That's the whole point.
I know.
Like, why can't it just be easy?
Because you've known me long enough to know I don't make anything easy. Man, my Monday definitely sucks just a little bit less. Let's get out of here. Wow.